what you're about to watch may cause increased levels of anxiety and may be disturbing to some viewers. These are the events that occurred from the experiences and perspectives of me and my family on the morning of June 23rd. As we entered the Gorge dirt road, the riverbed was dry. We had just passed through a small rain shower from the approaching cloud, not knowing a large weather disturbance was heading right for us. We also had no phone reception since entering the Capitol Reef National Park area. We followed behind a large motorhome and black pickup truck to the parking lot area where the trail begins and the road ends. This is when the weather turned from clear skies to severe weather within minutes. Our Ram Rebel truck is seen parked closest to the awning and trailhead. Many of the other vehicles you see in the parking lot around us did not make it through what came next.
Yep. Those are big balls.
Hail began to fall and became more intense as time went on. Visitors returned back to the parking lot from the trail as quickly as possible and took cover under the awning. You can see here there are roughly 30 people taking shelter under the awning, mesmerized by the events unfolding. People's countenance began to change from entertained to concerned as the mood began to calm. What started out as a fun, unusual weather moment soon turned to worry as waterfalls began to form from above the gorge edge. Seeing the intensity of falling water from above became alarming for most. At this point, panic set in as people began running for their cars. A river began to form under our truck as we also made our escape. The amount of water falling from the cliff's edge was powerful to watch, but we also realized we were sitting in a gigantic bathtub, and it was only a matter of time before the bottom of the tub would start to fill up. We jumped through the river running under our truck and got in. I quickly made for the exit of the gorge, not knowing what would soon meet us up ahead.
When it turns out, it's horrible. Okay, hold on.
I don't want to be. Oh my dad! Ah! Are you nuts? Look, there's a literal waterfall right there.
I was still calm and entertained by the event as I joked with the kids, but the rest of my family was still panicked and concerned.
Yes, we would have to wait for a few hours for the toilet.
Could still be a possibility.
Let's look at this over here.
Yeah, this is great, man.
I don't want to sit there for a few hours.
Don't, Josh.
The forming river was still passable as I drove through, keeping an eye out for trouble ahead.
Left, Bennett. Left.
Yeah, it's easy for me.
Bennett, walk to the left.
We are, dude. Yeah, look, just flowing out.
Yeah, Dad, I don't know.
Yay! Day 3 of vacation. Let's be in a flash flood since we haven't done that before.
Oh my God. Yeah, we almost died, okay?
Do you could have stopped traumatizing the children.
You didn't.
This high ground in the road would have been a prime location to sit and wait for any pending flash floods, especially for small cars.
Just like
We're
that.
like,
Oh my
you
God.
guys are gonna go, oh, yeah, that was crazy. I'm glad you filmed that,
No, we're
Dad.
not done yet.
Yeah, sure, I'm glad you
As we made our way out of the gorge, the walls began to narrow.
The truck was in a river, okay? We could barely get in here.
Imagine the trucks started moving out of
Feet
nowhere,
are
Dad.
soaking wet. I had to jump through the river just to get to my door.
Wow.
Right here at this spot, 2 vehicles were destroyed by what comes next.
Traumatize them. You cannot traumatize your children like this.
Kid was crying like crazy.
Some people watch Indiana Jones, okay? That doesn't mean your kids have to live through this.
Yeah, now rocks are gonna start falling on us.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, Dad.
Yeah, there could be boulders falling on.
You guys are in the Ram Rebel. It's gonna
Watch
be okay.
out. Oh.
This isn't
Yeah,
Actually, we were in the
and the
van,
mud
Dad.
slam and
Imagine
that
we were just in the
motorhome
van.
is not going to go anywhere, so we know.
Dad would make the van go 4-wheel. Okay?
Some of those guys are gonna be stuck.
Yeah, that's why I said we
Not you guys. Not you guys.
But at least they were trying
Boy, did I eat my words.
to leave. And we were in the worst part of it. Over here isn't as bad. Like, we should have left.
That's why they said don't hike
When it
where
started
there's
hailing.
storms. And Dad's like, this can't be an adventure.
It's like, I don't
Well,
care.
of
It's not gonna
course.
be that bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's,
One of my boys said a prayer for our safety that we would get out alive.
They're going to think, where the heck have we been? The mud bounce?
it's like mud. We're like all soaked.
The whole truck, like,
Hey, is
half
our
of it's
room
off.
ready?
It's
Slowly
We
wheeling
just need to
down.
tell them, hey.
Oh my gosh.
Look at those
We're traveling
waterfalls.
up a river right now.
Yeah, look at
I mean,
those
look at all
waterfalls.
this.
Yeah, good job.
Mud falls.
Look at that.
This particular spot would soon become our safe haven for the pending flood.
Awesome.
At this point, the water
That's why you
is
had to
just a
stop there.
normal river.
Look, Dad. But Dad was like planning all the way.
Look at that.
What the heck,
Amazing.
Dad? That's not. Don't stop!
We got 10 minutes to live.
Dad!
Look,
I'm gonna
you
wait out
guys.
11 minutes.
It's never like this.
Well,
No, only when we come.
It's only when Mom comes it goes crazy, right, Mom?
What came around this bend was 2 feet of water wall to wall coming straight at us. Unfortunately, I didn't record the moment the flash flood came upon us, or my crazy driving in reverse to jump up onto this island, but I didn't expect to see what came next. Again, warning, these images could be hard to watch.
Shoot. It's gonna get worse around that corner.
I felt helpless as I watched the couple float away in their car and narrowly drown in the flood. I had to stay with my family, not knowing if the floods would rise and take my vehicle with the kids inside. I later learned that that couple got picked up in a helicopter to safety.
So we're here up on top of an island with a river going in front of us and a river going behind us. And I just saw a car go by, a small car riding down the river backwards and smashed into a rock. Thankfully, the river was able to dislodge them and they kept going down the river. I really hope that this has not killed anybody, because this is pretty serious stuff right here. We are currently stuck up on top of an island And at some point when the rain stops, then we'll get ourselves unstuck. But for now, we're just staying calm in the truck, and everything's gonna turn out okay.
This was the spot we stopped as the raging flood came upon us. I drove in reverse and jumped my truck up onto the island.
Okay, so it's pretty common when you're in a wilderness area. We didn't get a chance to check the weather report.
Hey.
So we didn't know there was going to be some flash floods coming, but there was a warning at the end. It was beautiful weather till we got to the end, but we saw a cloud coming, which is pretty normal. But when we got to the end, there's a big warning that says, as common, there are flash floods that run through this area. So right away, we started to see the flash floods happening as the hail and the rain was coming down so fast. It was pouring off the tops of all of these gorge edges right down on top of us. Underneath the truck became a river instantly. So what we had to do was get ourselves out of the gorge some and try to get to high ground. Well, what happened is when we got to this point right here, as you can see, the gorge gets narrow and there's nowhere for the water to go except for on top of the road. Thankfully, we had this other higher part of the road, which is now receded some. So what I did is I saw it coming up and over the top of the road. So I gunned it in reverse, but now we're high centered on top of this island. So all we gotta do is get the tires undug, and we're going to put some rock underneath the front of the tires and try to get the truck to lift up to get it off of being high centered. And then we're gonna get down into this normal road riverbed, and then we'll be able to survey what's going on ahead of us. But we're about halfway out of the gorge. There's a bunch of people trapped down at the end of the gorge where the trail starts. We'll probably get ourselves up on top of this berm right here where this grass is. So we're on higher ground, and then we'll get a chance to go check it out being unstuck. But in the moment, like anything, you got to troubleshoot the situation. You got to see what you've got available. There's a couple tree branches and some loose rocks. So we're gonna dig out the truck, put the rocks under the front tires. I got lockers and four-wheel drive, so we'll just gently bring this thing out of its hole and get it up the river there. So that's kind of where we're at right now. But there's no need to panic. You just got to stay calm. If we ran into a situation where we'd have to bail out on the vehicle, we would just go to high ground. Thankfully, this area here, you can see the brush has been here for a long time. You got a couple trees, but this is still high ground, even for a runoff like this. And we're already starting to see it recede a bit. It could take a couple hours to get out of here. I don't know what kind of damage is ahead of us, but mark my words, we will get out of here.
We were actually quite a bit more high-centered than I thought. Being stuck was a blessing to keep me grounded. The road up ahead was unpassable without help from a road grader.
Gotta film the whole thing so we can see it later. There's Mom. Celeste and Tanner are in there.
Despite the four-wheel drive and the locker, I didn't have a winch and I didn't bring my high jack, so I had no tool to pull myself out. What I didn't know is when I jumped the truck onto this berm, I landed my skid plate on a large bush.
Just driving, Rebel.
Keep the wheel right there. Give it a little bit of gas. Okay, stop. Stop. Go, 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 go!
Within hours, rescue crews made their way into the gorge on foot, and a helicopter flew overhead. They quickly discovered we had valuable information from our video and pictures to help aid in their rescue efforts. A rescue helicopter came and offered to get us out. Logistically, I thought it best to get my family to safety, and I would stay with the truck alone until the road grader showed up. Then I could drive out and meet up with them later. I knew if they pulled me out, I could get the truck and myself out to meet up with them. Coordinating with the helicopter pilot on the rescue reminded me of my time served in the Army National Guard Aviation Group as a soldier. Thank you to our service professionals who save lives every day. The kids had an incredible experience flying in a helicopter through the gorge, as they also got to see other vehicles stuck ahead of us.
There's the other truck that's stuck. What? There's another one that was stuck. Wow. Oh my gosh. I do not feel good. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can get it right here. This is crazy.
The family was finally safe back on dry ground, leaving me to work on my own rescue attempt.
That's kind of a crazy feeling, really. Well, I'm out here in the wilderness by myself with a storm coming, so but the family's out of here and I'm still stuck, but making good progress. So I'm gonna try to record as much as I can of everything that goes on here, and I'm actually making pretty good progress here with the jack. All the parts on the jack broke. The river is receding nicely. If I can just get it off this berm, then I'll be in a much better spot. So I'm just gonna keep jacking it up, see if I can make some progress. I'm gonna give it another shot and see if I can get it broke free.
At this point, the skies are relatively clear, but I'm still stuck.
Still too high centered. It's unbelievable. You know, honestly, the kids have been such a stinking pain. And then to see them go off in that helicopter, I don't know. Words cannot express how I felt about that. Because that's your family. At the end of the day, that's the family, and they're gonna be so crazy happy to see me. Okay, this is it. He's almost here. So the road grader is here. I'm pretty sure he can pull me out. So he's not gonna pull me out, but he said that there's the road grader just right behind him. So I'm just gonna wait for him. I'll just put all these rocks piled up so we know that that's where we got stuck. All right. right up to here. Okay. Okay, I'm out, but look at this bull crap. I was sitting on a freaking bush. I got the spot marked now. Okay. We are out of here.
As I pulled away from our island of safety, you can see just how lucky we were to pause in this spot to admire a large waterfall. Up ahead, there was no place for us to escape the pending floodwaters.
Holy cow. Good grief. Oh my goodness. This is what we would have been stuck in. Oh, this is so beautiful now. Look at this.
The park ranger said flash floods help rejuvenate the landscape, but the process is best done without people present.
It's really pretty here. Oh my goodness. This part right here would have killed us.
If you look closely, you can see how high the water got up in this section.
Oh, that's where they survived.
Capitol Gorge Wash typically gets 8 inches of water a year. We saw 1 inch of water in an hour.
They're gonna be so happy to see me. I actually made it out of here. Oh, how is that motorhome gonna get out of this? Seriously. These guys.
I'm grateful to these 3 rescuers who first made contact with us and lifted the spirits of my family. Even though I didn't know them well, my heart went out to them as I drove by and said goodbye.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow. I got stuck there. Paramedic out to see me.
Even with help from the road grader, the road was very wet and very muddy.
Holy cow! That was sketchy.
At this point, I was officially leaving the Grand Wash area. I was safe and heading back to meet up with my family.
Okay. Woo! Guess I get to check myself out. Look how beautiful it looks out there. So every single dip in the road has got mud covering over it. And it looks like they had to come through here with the bulldozer and clear it all off so that people could come through here. This is amazing. I guess one of the guys that does the search and rescue said that it's never been this bad. There is another storm coming. There's no way I would have gotten free by myself. Capitol Reef, you almost killed us.
What happened to the survivors? Here's what we know. Everyone got out alive. Many were helicopter lifted out of the gorge like my family. The rescue crew worked late into the night until everyone was recovered and started the process of pulling out vehicles. We know the couple in the red car were airlifted from the submerged roof of their car. I believe the black truck managed to get farther up the road ahead of us and was able to get out after the road grader came through. The white truck parked next to our Ram truck was caught in the flood. One of the 12 passenger vans was destroyed and found close by to the white truck. We also know the black hatchback floated down the river and was lost from view. The condition of the rest of the vehicles was unknown.
So I talked to the ranger, and they're just right here at the visitor center. And I said, "Are you Josh?" And he said, "Yeah, my name's Josh. Your family's already at the hotel. They're gonna be so happy to see you." Oh gosh. Unbelievable. I'll tell you what, that was.
Why does everything have to be original filming? This is not funny.
Look at this. You got the fire going
The
and
pool over there.
Hey, you're here. How'd you get back? Where's the truck? How'd you get back?
I got back in the truck.
What?
Ram rebel.
How?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, Dad.
You're in this
I
government
took a shower.
vehicle?
But they kept
So much
but
dirt
they kept
came
telling us they never had this. They never had such a fast moving.
Oh yeah, she was saying it's so bad.
We
We
thought
rode
it
in a
was super
helicopter.
I know. You guys got a helicopter
I was
trip.
expecting you to come back at like midnight.
Did you get out?
Yeah, Dad. First time in a helicopter, baby. Let's go.
Did you
We're
record
taking
your whole
tons of
thing?
videos.
You know what I did? I piled up a bunch of rocks in that spot where the truck was.
Huh? Like what?
For us to stay.
Oh wait, how'd you get out? I'm never going there again.
After having gone through something so traumatic, to see a double rainbow at the end of the dangerous adventure was a sign of a blessed return to safety and everyone happy to be together again. Next time we'll hike the gorge on dry ground without a cloud in the sky.